Okay guys, welcome back. Today we got a Toyota Sienna 2011 model in the garage. What exactly is the problem with this very car here? The car overheats, and the customer called me yesterday, which is Sunday, that this car is overheating, and thank God they didn't stop in the middle of nowhere, so it has actually brought them right into the town area. So he asked me to precisely investigate why this very car is overheating and get back so we can be able to remedy the situation. Now, I've actually come across this kind of problem. For most Toyota models, these the three factors I want to name here in this very car here should be able to help you solve your overheating problem. I'm saying all Toyota models, they are having literally the same problem. The first one, which I'm going to be starting up with here, is the coolant pump, which is on this very 2GFR engine, and it goes the same with the 1ZZ, 1MZ, with the other variants engine. So be very curious about it. I'm not just curious, inspect it very well. I say 3. Oh, my bad, it's not 3, it's actually 4. The second one you're going to be looking out for is this very cap here. It often deteriorated quickly, and when it deteriorates, it leaks out coolant over here from this very seal here. And when it leaks out coolant, you have air pockets inside the system that starts creating excessive heat, and that leads to overheating. But the next one we're going to be looking at is the radiator fan. Most oftentimes, the radiator fan itself is good. We just remove this one here. The radiator fan is actually good, but the carbon brushes often worn out. And what actually happens when that carbon brush is leave? When the carbon brush out give out a power, it results into two very consistent problems. One is inconsistency in the fan speed. Then second is the car can have a mind of its own. It can run sometimes and doesn't run sometimes. In order for you to know and save a lot of money, to know if suppose it is actually the brush that's responsible, first and first, look out for a slow speed fan. If the fan is not throttling when the AC is turned on, and one of them is actually kind of trying to do slow mo, wow, it's not for fashion, it's actually a sign that the brushes are on its last leg. And one more important thing you have to understand in diagnosing a bad fan, especially Toyota, just pick up something range and tap while the AC is on, just to ensure that the car has actually sent a signal for the fan to pick. All right, so as soon as you tap it, if the fan picks up, there you go, that's actually the brush that has eaten up. They're going to be looking at here, which is actually the primary reason why this very car here is overheating. It's a bad radiator. Yes, trust me, you don't want to go that area, because I have seen this on Camry models from 2007 to 8 to 10. That's why I say it's like literally all Toyota models. These very 4 factors which I listed here is therefore of the most common problem that actually causes the engine to overheat and create air pockets inside the system. So once you miss it, it's gonna be a showdown. And now let me go ahead and take you to the big elephant in this guy right here. This is the condenser. On the surface area, everything looks great, like there is no problem. But once I started zooming in, you start seeing the problems. Now here we can see the traces of coolant leaks. These reddish colors which you're seeing here are fake coolant which are sold in Nigeria. And that is not all. I'm going to review the broader picture to you, because here is one of the most renegade of Toyota terrible engineering. This cover in most Camrys often crack up, and when it cracks up, it's going to leak out coolant rapidly, which is going to result into overheating and subsequently a blown top cylinder head gasket, and that's a lot of money. Now let's go into this one again. Done. For this very one here, it's leaking right in between this very cover here and here. So what it needs is for you to reseal it. You can save money by resealing it instead of replacing the entire radiator, because if you take a look at the cells, they are looking very great and they allow a very quality air to pass through it. So in as much as you can permit some air to pass through, I mean significant portion of air to pass through, that's a very good sign that the radiator is actually in a very good condition and healthy one. However, where it's having this very leak right here, both the top cap and both the bottom part on the cap and the top, they need to be resealed. I didn't say replace, except if you have to observe yours closely to be sure there is no crack here or whatsoever on the both sides. If there is no crack, then you are ready to go. All you need to do is to get this off. It's kind of a very tedious work to do, but once you get it done, it's gonna be okay. Remove all this, put the silicone and reseal it back. Once you do that, you're gonna save yourself a lot of money than replacing this very radiator. But wait, we have just one guy. I'm not saying another factor, but what you have to look out for in a situation where the radiator creates a mess. Sometimes there is a mechanical problem, a mechanical damage that actually prompted the chain reaction. And for this very one here, do you think it actually happened? I'm gonna shock you just a little bit. And when I look at this very radiator here, just like I told you guys that when the cells are open and they can allow a very significant chunk of air to go in and causes heat transfer, that doesn't mean that is all. You still have to look out if suppose there is a mechanical damage along this very cell area here. You gotta inspect it carefully. A critical attention to detail is what matters. And if we look at this one right here, no one we saw it coming. This is the main reason why this very radiator here lose out coolant in a very rapid form that actually created a chain reaction of overheating in this very car here that results into bringing it down to this very garage here. Now when I zoom back, you're going to be looking at everything to be in a very good condition, except a critical attention to detail. And that is what it takes for most mechanical DIY to actually spot the difference between a very good part and a bad part. So guys, I am Dr. Cool. Do you think there is anything which I miss about the 4 problems that often plague every Toyota when it comes to overheating? You think there is 1 or 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 that I miss? If you think so, let me hear your thought in the comment section, and I'm gonna be back. I'm gonna be right there in the comment section with you guys to hear your own opinion about it. And some other times, I remain Dr. Cool Auto Fix. Don't forget to stay locked in this very channel here. Thank you for watching. Thank you for participating. I'll see you some other time.